What's up, ladies and gents? You guys see like everyone else. Slappy here with ETM 540 Clubhouse. Dang, there is so much room in here now. Seriously, like, look at that. That's freaking awesome. So stoked. Anyways, back in the shop, getting ready to do some more work back on our Scrambler. But today, we're going to keep it pretty mellow and do a little tightening up of some things. Because we spent the better part of yesterday getting some stuff done to prep for a little trip that I'm taking this weekend back out to the desert to go do a little motocross riding. So I'm going to bring you guys along for that, but I still have some more prep work to do. So being that I do still have a full-time job, I got to do as much as I can with the time I got. So we're just going to do some little things here and there and get it to a point where we feel like we've made some progress. So that way I can spend the rest of the day kind of getting what I need to get done to have fun next weekend. So anyways, that was long-winded and took way too long and was winded of longness of winded. Hey, look it. We got a new gas tank. Yep, that's right. Totally new gas tank. Squirrel! 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 But anyways, my buddy gave me that, and it's something that I think we're going to end up probably using. So I need to just kind of fix the pump. It's got a little bit of a leak, and I figure, hey, might as well have a ticking time bomb in your shop that has all of your really cool toys in it. Cue explosion here. So with that, we're going to get back to this and just do some little minor things. I really want to button up, welding up that rear little part of the rear triangle. We have a front brake that still needs to be hooked up, so I'm going to try and figure out if we can do something really simple to at least just get that hooked up. And I also wanted to at least cut off all these little rubber O-rings off of our BMX peg style pegs. Yep, I'm probably leaving these, just so you know. And that's just because I like the little custom style look and whatnot. And yeah, and then there's some other little simple tasks, like there's a bolt that's broken in this and this thing just flops around. So I'd like to get that fully locked down. There's this that needs to be locked down. This is what actually used to go into our old air cleaner box, and it was like the crankcase thingamaboobskis. Boobs? And whatever else we can find. So we're just going to get to it. We're just going to time-lapse some stuff, and let's just get a little, I guess you could call this the piddle episode. Episode at O Piddle. Padoodle-ski padoodles. Padada padidi. Palabada-bada-bing-bong. Or we could just say we're just going to do a bunch of little crap. God, this is taking forever. The freaking clock is like, it was on my finger. Well, okay, let's freaking get to this. Oh yeah, in process of kind of messing with things, I realized I needed to brace up our kickstand that we built. So I built a little plate to go ahead and weld out on that. That way it's going to make this zone right here a lot stronger. So when this is down, it's going to least likely bend there. And I found this little freaking kit. How cute is this thing? And I'm hoping that this will actually fit in our rear toolbox. So it's got all common type sizes and whatnot. And I don't know, I just thought it was really cool. And it was sitting at the freaking top of our toolbox right here, where it was just chilling out, collecting dust. So I figured, hey, why not have a little prep box thingy for that right there. Because as we find things, we're just going to keep, adding them to the lineup of coolness that this thing is. Why am I still talking? Let's get to freaking work. right, there we go. Button back up, looking good. Now, I didn't do the underside welding wise because I didn't want to take all this apart right now. I will get back under there just to button up the rest of that when we go to do final assembly. But for now, at least this is locked in. And when I go to do the seat and possibly put the other tool bag back here, then there won't be any flopping around, if you will. Because this, in a whole, as we're working on it, is literally just getting things to fit right. Make sure that everything's functioning around the things that we're putting on, adding, and whatnot. And that was something that's been bugging me for a while. So I wanted to at least get it buttoned up to that point to where it's not moving. I mean, it is. And there's a plug in there on both sides, so it's not going anywhere. So, yeah. Let me see. What else do we got here? What did we talk about doing? We talked about doing the front brake, but I think I'm going to wait on the front brake because there is a part that I can get for that that's very simple that I need to look up that will make that task a heck of a lot easier. Even though I really do want to try and build it, which we may still do, I'm probably going to look for the part first and then go from there. But, there was something kind of funny that really has to be done that I really wanted to do the last time, but we didn't do it and we forgot. So let me grab this. Acropolis. All right, now that's official. And believe it or not, I actually did want to get that done. So there is that one thing that I was going to do with the bracing of our kickstand. So I'm going to go ahead and get that knocked out really quick. And then there's a couple other little things that we can do on the handlebars, tightening up of some levers, tightening up of some, just let's freaking do some more welding. Come on. All right, let's do a little recap as we've just been shrugging along. But we got that kickstand all re-braced. I feel so much better about that because when we first built this, I could see there was some flex, and I knew it was going to need something. So with that backing plate on there and a crap load of welds, like the amount of welds, it braced it really nice, and it turned out really good. So yeah, I'm stoked. It's nice and thick in there. It bolted up really nice, so we're pumped on that. I'm not complaining. But now I think what we need to do is we need to make a decision on these pegs. And I am going to leave them for one, but we got to decide on what we're going to do for the grip aspect of it. And as much as I hate to do this, sorry, Sean. So these are actually Biz House Bikes pegs from back when I used to ride Pro BMX. And Biz House Bikes was founded by Sean White out of Wheeling, West Virginia. Not that Sean White. It would be this Sean White. And I actually helped him get it off the ground in a promotional sense, not in a design sense or anything. The guy's a genius. He went to college in Pennsylvania for industrial design and freaking revolutionized the flatland BMX industry. So I ran a bunch of his parts as much as I could either afford at the time because, small company, so I was supporting the owner, or whatever he gave me, and I still have mostly everything that I've ever gotten from there. So I want to keep them on, and there is enough pad here for some sort of a boot, but I can't decide on what I want to do. So for now, I'm just going to grip tape them and then see how that works out. So I'm going to finish taking these O-rings off because it's being a bitch right now, trying to do it one-handed. And then we'll grip them, rip them, and move on to the freaking next thing. Yeah. Sorry about that. Way too early. Okay, let's do this. I don't know if I'm sold on that yet. Just because it feels like I should be putting the rubber O-rings back on it. And it just feels like it would be much more comfortable that way. So, I don't know. I'm going to just let it fester? No, fester is a bad thing. I'm going to let it resignate? No, that's like verberation. I'm going to let it compile. What am I, a freaking computer? I'm going to let it just sit there for a little bit. And we'll see if it grows on me. But I have a feeling I'm going to be taking that off. But whatever. All right, let's see what else we got. All right, so I contemplated and decided that I'm going to go ahead and put the handlebar turn signals back on. So I think we'll knock that out really quick and then run the wires through the handlebars. And from there, we can move on to the two last little pieces and call it good. So shaka-laka-laka! All right, so there's a couple different methods that you can use for getting wire pulled through handlebars, and I'm going to show you both. And one of the methods requires just a little bit of twine, and the other one is just a straight piece of wire. Now, depending on the style of handlebars that you're doing this with, that kind of determines also which ones you would use more so than the other. The twine is more used for bars like ape hangers, stuff like that. Things that you'll have more curves in. And that's just because it just works out better that way. But if you take your twine or your string, whatever works, this cable is, or wire is really light. So I'm going to tie a knot on the end of that. And then you actually put it inside the hole that you are trying to get it through. And you take your air compressor and you just give it a little blows it right through. And then you take your wire, tie it off onto that with a little tape, and pull her through until you get it to the end. So that's that method. And then with the wire, this one's pretty straightforward. Because we are using a straighter bar, this one will just feed right through. Simple as that. So these holes were actually holes that were pretty big gaps from the welding that I did. And rather than fill them in, I had a feeling I was going to be putting these back on. I went ahead and left them there, and I'm glad I did, because now that'll be a lot cleaner. The bar turn signals will go in nice and smooth, and we'll be good to go. So I'm going to finish these off. We'll freaking time gabobble that one, and then move on to second to the last step. Sorry about that. All right, well, that's going to do it for this quick run through. And I'm stoked just to have that little bit of small bits and pieces. Just those things, they add up. Not just with this project or other projects, but just in general. Like, I'm literally going to be going home doing more little projects on other things around the house, for the Chrysler, for, just stuff. So I'm just glad that I was able to knock a little bit out. But yeah, we're going to call it good. I like how things are happening. I am going to probably go back to the O-rings on that because the grip tape just wasn't doing it for me. And I have a feeling that if I was to ride this a long distance, having that little step down right there, if you can see it, yeah, that's going to get painful after the first, freaking 10 miles because I'm fat. Oh, I'm pretty fat. God, I'm fat. Oh, well. Anyways, so that's it. We're going to call that good. We're going to call it some wins, and we'll make it to the next. Oh, I totally just blanked right there, but whatever. So yeah, we're going to get on to the next little section of things when we get back from our trip to the desert, which, like I said, I'll bring you guys along for that. That'll be nice and fun. And but let's take a look at what we got left to do, just so that way you can see it. Oh my goodness, did it really come down to tank, seat, and then wiring? I think it did. Because quite literally, everything else that's left is going to be that front brake, which hopefully will just be a quick fix. And yeah, that's it. Oh my goodness. All this is optional. I actually did test that little toolkit. It does fit into our toolbox, so I'm stoked on that. I'm just going to leave it out for now because I'm probably going to put together some other tools to put in there. And some of this stuff is possible. Maybe it'll go on, maybe it won't. I'm sure that'll kind of be more last of the Mohicans type stuff. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. But holy crap. I honestly thought there was going to be a lot more, which there still is. There's still a bolt that we need to fix that we didn't get a chance to do today, but that's okay. I'm all right with it. And what else? Like I said, the front brakes. And maybe just some adjustments. But wow, for the most part, the majority of it is freaking done. Holy crap. I mean, that's pretty awesome because that'll just put, like I said, one more thing on the road that you motherfucker. Okay, sorry about that. Freaking things sometimes. But anyways, yeah, it'll get it back on the road, and we're going to be all handy, dandy, happy, dappy, clappy, slappy. Well, that's me. So, yeah, well, we'll freaking see you in the next one. Thank you guys so much for all the love. Thank you for all the support, all the comments. Thanks for enjoying that last video with the Datsun. That was freaking fun. Really wish we could keep that. I want to see that thing on the ground, on some bags. And we were even talking about if we were to keep it, we would, because it's got that rear hatch, we would actually do it to where we can build a ramp or just have a motorcycle ramp, gut a little bit of it, and then you could put a motorcycle in there and make it your motorcycle hauler. It hasn't sold yet, so you never know. You never know. But anyways, we hope to see you in the next one. Tell your friends, tell your family. We're a small family-owned and operated channel. We love you all so much. You seriously. Thanks for coming to the Clubhouse. Hey, you're the one who treated me bad. Well, actually, maybe I should. Get off me! Jam and Slappy, their dads with a knack for stories of travel and ghosts in the black. From rat rod cars, roaring to food that's divine, they'll keep you laughing with tales every time.
Inside Podcast. Parenting woes and adventures galore. Tune in each week, there's always much more. Got on the Inside Podcast.